How do you keep the rest of the team from any kind of complacency in Game 3?
I mean, I think, there's a understanding in between our guys that, we haven't been very good over the course of the last, really 2 years. We've been good this year in Game 3, but, before that we just hadn't performed well in Game 3, and that's probably a sense of complacency. So, I think guys are locked in like I've never seen before, understand the task at hand and know that this is going to be the hardest game of the series, and if we can come out on top, we put ourselves in a tremendous position. But, I mean, they're down 2-0, coming home, crowd's going to be loud, they're going to give everything they have. And, we definitely understand that and know that we got to come out ready to fight and just be ready for whatever, because they're going to throw everything at us.
You said at the beginning of the season that you want to crush Cavs. That was the feeling in your heart. Now, after these 2 games, are you feeling that you're near to accomplish that?
No. We've been up 3-1 before. There's no feeling of we're almost there. Got to play every game like you're down. And I think if you can keep that mindset, you'll eventually reach the goal. But say we're up 2-0, we're good. Like, still got 2 more games to win, and those 2 will be way harder than the first 2. So, we just got to stay locked in like we've been.
Draymond, you just said that your teammates are locked in like you've never seen before. What makes you say that? Is there certain things that you see in your team?
I mean, you just see, a certain amount of focus. You see a competitive level, of where, like, it hasn't been matched. And, that's a good sign. But just the way guys have been locked in, focused on the task at hand, I mean, it's been a special thing. And yet, in saying that, I think we can be so much better. I think the first game, we executed great, and we had 4 turnovers, but we didn't really make shots. The second game, we didn't execute very well, but we made shots, so now we need to put those 2 things together. But the one thing that has been constant is we've competed, and we've, been locked in on the defensive end. If we continue to do that, we'll always give ourselves a chance to win.
How much better do you think the Knicks can be?
I think they can be better, but I think if we continue to play our game and we get to our best, I think we'll be just fine.
Draymond, everyone calls LeBron the best player on the planet. Is Kevin making a case that he's the best player on the planet?
Number one, I think it's all someone's opinion of who they think is the best player on the planet. And LeBron is a great player, but K is great. I think KD is like a creative player. If you go and create this player and you can do everything you want to do, you're going to probably create Kevin Durant. And so he's special, but both of those guys are special. I don't think either one of them is out here playing, in this finals for the title of the best player in the world. They're playing for a title, an NBA title. And so I think that's the last thing on both of their minds is who's going to say who's better. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter. If you don't win, if someone say, oh man, he's the best player in the world, what do you get from that? But you get a lot more from getting the ring. So I think that's both of those guys' focus. If I had to look at it from the outside looking in, I would be willing to bet that both of them would rather have a title than that title.
Draymond, this is one of those theoretical matchups that can never happen. Yesterday, Magic Johnson said his Showtime Lakers would have probably swept you guys. What are your thoughts on that?
That's my thoughts.
Do you think about like historical matchups? How you guys stack up against some of the teams?
No, I don't, because I know it could never happen. First off, the game is completely different than it was back then. Like, nowadays, if you can't shoot a 3, you're a liability on the floor. That wasn't the case back then, so I never understand when people try to compare eras and say, oh, this team could have beat that team, or they couldn't have beat that team, or this player was better than that player. So it doesn't make sense to me because you're kind of talking two different games, for real. So I never really understand that, nor do I get off into it. They were great in their time, we're great in our time. And, respect that.
You guys have gotten so many comments from players of that era, the previous eras, about stuff like this. Do you ever tell yourself that when you're at that point to try and not be like that? To give players of the new era credit? Or do you think you'll be defensive of what you guys accomplished as well?
I think if you have self-confidence, you don't really care about who's coming after you is doing. I mean, you care, you want to see them do well, So for me, it's not going to be to try, that. Like, I don't foresee myself doing that. If they're great, they're great. Respect what they're doing. I think if you have full fulfillment in what you did, and then it's not really, we would have done this and we would have done that. I think we would say we would have ran them out the gym. But is that true? I don't know. We'll never know. But in the same sense, I don't think they were as fast as we are. So I sound stupid, right?
No, you sound all right.
No, I think I sound stupid because that's how all of it be sounding to me. So
Draymond,
it is what it is.
if you do go 16-0, it would basically end the argument. Is that on your mind at all, history?
No, I don't think it ends the argument, though, because once again, it's two different eras. You're playing against different teams. So to say, if we were to go 16-0, we beat 4 teams 16 times in a row. But they weren't the 4 teams that they had to beat, or whoever they beat. Like, I still don't think there's a comparison to make.
Measured against maybe the difference of your competition. Like,
And
if
you
you're
could-
that much better than everybody else.
Only thing you can ever measure is the numbers, just because it's right there in front of you. But I still don't think you can necessarily compare it. Now, that would be a great thing to do, and everyone wants to make history, but I want to win 4 games. And if that's 4-3, it's 4-3. If that's 4-0, great. But I just want to win 4 games. The championship is history. That's really the only history we need to
You
make.
guys circled 73 wins last year, though, pretty clearly. You went for it, and you got it. You're not doing the same for 16, right?
No, we made that mistake of circling 73 and worrying about the wrong thing before. It don't matter. Like I said, it'd be great. It'll be a great story. But I don't think, when I talk, if we were able to do that, I don't think when I talk about championship, I say we only team wins 16-0. I said we won a championship. And so I think that's all that matters at the end of the day.
What are the execution things that you said that you guys felt like you could improve on from game 2?
Number 1, turnovers. You turn the ball over 20 times in this gym, it's probably going to be pretty impossible to win. That's when they get out, get dunks, they hit threes, the crowd gets into it even more, they feed off that, and they're a different team. So, we definitely need to do that and just continue to use each other. I think we did a better job of using each other and moving the ball in game 1 than we did in game 2. So, if we can do that, which I have no doubt in my mind that we can, and clean up on some of the defensive stuff. I think we made a lot of defensive mistakes in game 2. So if we can clean up on those couple things, put ourselves in a great position.